Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have James. James is from Michigan in the USA. So let's see what James has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, James. How are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My God, look your background. Look the weather right now behind you. Oh my God, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Southern Michigan.
Wow.
Uh, the lake's across the street there, but can't really see it with the camera.
Oh my God, you are so lucky. So you're very close to the lake then.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm definitely blessed to be where I'm at right now. Thank you.
Wow. So are you from Michigan in the US?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So tell me something about it, about the place where you live. Tell me something interesting about it.
So I don't live too far from Chicago, Illinois, and US 12 runs through my hometown. And that was one of the main highways from New York to Chicago in the early 1900s.
Wow.
So there's a lake next to this lake where Al Capone used to have a house, and he had tunnels around here. And he had another house up in Vandalia, Michigan, which is about 15 minutes away. And all types of crazy stuff was found out there. But some, young kids decided to burn the house down. But so we definitely have a lot of history here. There's a lot of history that runs through this town for sure. A
Oh,
lot of
wow.
lakes, too. Tons of lakes.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Wow. So tell me a little bit, besides beside the scenario, besides the lake and the nature, tell me what was the best part of growing up over there?
Honestly, it would have just it's for me it's always been nature. I'm actually studying to be a druid right now. So my whole life I've always been out in the woods. I've been camping, hunting, trapping, fishing. And this state definitely has lots of nice deer, rabbits. I mean, anything that you can hunt. I don't hunt anymore, since I started my spiritual journey. I don't really hunt anymore. I try not to, meat as often, but sometimes I just can't help but like to snag up a chicken leg. uh, but the outdoors here is definitely what keeps me here for sure, and my children. But that's about it.
That's amazing. And what do you do for work, for living, James?
I am one of them jacks of all trades. I have been a carpenter, an iron worker. Right now, I actually sell jewelry. I wrap jewelry, and I do tarot. I do other divination tools. I pretty much just work for myself at this point because I'm tired of doing the 9 to 5.
Amazing. I think it's great for you to explore different areas and, passion, and suddenly you just find your way, find your passion in life. That's how I believe as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. So, okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point of views, okay?
Okay.
James, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Well, see, on my TikTok channel, I'm pretty much an open book. I don't ever keep anything from anybody unless it like directly involves my life. So I happen to be one of them people that had a half good childhood, one of the not half childhood, not half good, half not. I did, it's hard to share a lot of things, I share everything, but I was the victim of a lot of childhood problems growing up.
Okay.
I became a drug addict when I was 16. I went to prison when I was 19, got out when I was 26.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be 37 this year. I haven't been back since, screw that. I learned my lesson. I guess what a lot of people don't know about me is I used to want to be a tap dancer. I really don't tell people that. So there's that.
That's interesting. Oh, wow.
Oh, I wanted to be a tap dancer so bad. I'd put the tacks in my shoes and I'd just sit there and dance at home while nobody was home.
That's amazing. That's very
Dance like
interesting.
nobody's watching.
Amazing. James, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here a best friend. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax before the first question, all right?
Okay. That's all right.
Let's do it.
I mean, I do it too. You know, I'll be dancing too. I don't know.
Yes,
We never know what life throws at us.
absolutely. Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
Am I one of the ones? Is that what you asked?
No, do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
I know a lot of people that were trying really hard. I guess the only people I would really know that are living their life to the fullest are people with, you know, more monetarily based funds and things, you know. I see a lot of people that are, you know, grid workers and spiritual people that are living their fullest life, being out in the woods, which is where I'm trying to be. So, you know, it sucks we don't have as many people being as authentic and living, you know, their true purpose and their true self, and they're so afraid to just be themselves, you know. So it's really authentic people are really hard to come by these days, so it's very unfortunate.
For you, the definition of living life to the fullest, it means like being their truly self, that they are expressed in the way they are.
Yep. I don't think there's any other better way of life. I mean, I went from, so technically I live with my dad because I was a drug addict for a little bit. I was going through a narcissistic relationship yet again, and I ended up losing a couple houses, and I've pretty much lost everything I've ever owned, and I've never been more happy in my life. You know, I've been allowed to express myself and be more creative. With my passions and my hobbies. I've been able to explore more when I'm not at work for 9 to 12 hours a day, you know, and man, I really just don't like this working system we have in this world, you know. We're not here to work, we're here to live, baby.
I like that. Next question, let's do it. Right, next question for you is, what hurt your feelings?
Oh, that's a deep one. Honestly, it's going to be my mother wound the most. My mom pretty much signed her rights off to me when I was a baby, bounced in and out of my life. And then come to find out my dad wasn't even my dad to begin with, and like they knew the whole time. So if my mother hurt me the most in life, it just period. There's too many instances where I can break people's hearts and I'm not gonna, but my mother is literally the one thing that hurt me in my life.
I see. Tough question for you. Do you think one day you're gonna forgive her? Do you think one day you're gonna try to put this situation behind, or it still affects your life, in your opinion?
She actually lives on the other side of the lake as me, so you know, there's been a few times where I have tried to work it out with my mother, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't care if you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my kids, you're my aunt, my uncle. I don't care who you are. If you're not going to treat me like a human being that I am, and you're just going to constantly disrespect me, I have nothing for you. I love you and I release you, and I'm here. But other than that, you know, I forgive my mom because I know we come from a very weird family. And so I forgive her for the things that have happened. At least I'm trying to. I'm in the process of that. But I really don't hold it over her head too much anymore, you know, because I started my healing journey, and now I see from now my understanding, I'm like, oh, snap. Okay, so now I have more empathy towards people. I'm like, oh, that's why this person is an a-hole today, you know? Like, oh, so I'm working on forgiving her, yes.
Wow, I love your answer, James. I think, you know, forgiving, I know it's hard, it's difficult to go through, but when, you know, as you said, it's part healing, it's part of healing your, you know, feelings and about yourself as well. And I think it's,
right.
You know, I think when we forgive someone or try to forgive someone, it's about healing, it's about put ourselves in a better place. That's how I see as well.
Right.
Wow,
Most
amazing.
definitely. Thank you.
Next question, let's do it.
Let's go.
Before the next question, James, of course, you mentioned a few times about your spiritual journey, yeah? So tell a little bit about it. Tell me, when was the moment that you realized that, okay, let me start this new journey in my life? Tell me a little bit about it, your journey so far.
So, I mean, my spiritual journey pretty much started when I was a teenager. I'd always been fascinated by the concept of religion and God. My whole life, I've always had my qualms with how certain religions are, and they just don't feel right to me. So I would just explore and explore and explore. I've been Muslim. I've seen miracles happen in Islam. I have been a Jehovah's Witness. I've been a normal baptized Christian. You know, I do Norse mythology. You know, now it's an amalgamation of everything. But my real awakening started in 2021. I started really noticing the shift when I had a relationship that I really wanted, go south. And I had a son with her, and things just didn't work out. And he was super young, so I took it really hard because, like, my wish my whole life was to have a son, and I finally had him. But that's what really started my journey in, and I've seen some amazing, beautiful things. Like, if you would have seen me a year and a half ago, you wouldn't even be like, "No, I don't want this dude on my YouTube." It's not like I was a complete a-hole, like that. I've been going through so much during this spiritual awakening. I really didn't have much time for people. I've been in hermit mode for about the last 3 years of my life. So.
Wow. And when you think about yourself, James, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being James? What do you like the most about being you?
Making people laugh. That's what I love to do the most. I love making people laugh. There's nothing on this planet that makes me feel better. You can probably tell by the smile on my face.
It's amazing. All right. Next question is, what's the most memorable lesson you've learned from your parents?
How to not be a parent.
Tell me about it.
So my dad took care of me financially, for sure. I was a spoiled little brat growing up by my dad, but he pretty much just, like, my grandmother either raised me, or he's like, here's money, go play with your friends, get the hell away from me while I go drink beer and watch NASCAR. He wasn't there emotionally at all. I had to learn to be a man in prison, which is not the place to do so. But and like I said earlier, my mother was in and out of my life. But and I tell my dad when him and I get into little spats here and there, he'd be like, "Well, you didn't come with a manual." I'm like, "No, baby came with a manual, dude. Like, what an excuse, but just don't be like your parents." It's as simple as that. If your parents did things that made you mad, that made you feel insecure, made you feel unsafe or miserable or depressed, then don't do it to us, baby. That's all you got to do. Just don't be that bad person in your life that hurt you. Be the complete opposite.
Wow, amazing. I think that, those experiences in life make us understand that we can do better.
Oh, yeah, and there's a complete duality to things. Everybody thinks that everything's supposed to be all love and rainbows, but not everybody's all love and rainbows. There's bad and good, and once you could learn to use your discernment and move throughout crowds of people and be like, okay, I can't mess with this person, I can mess with this person, your life gets so much better. The noise that doesn't need to be there anymore goes away. You don't have all the drama from all these crazy people. No offense, people. I don't mean to call you crazy in a bad way. Just putting up with people's insanity. So just got to flip that perspective.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
Awesome. Gotta dance. Forgot about that. I gotta dance.
Next question is, what is your morning ritual?
Wake up. Wake up, make some coffee, and then I make my tea on the side. So I like to go out into the rough and get mullein and peppermint, all these different herbs and stuff. So I'll make my mullein, peppermint, and St. John's wort tea first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Either take a bath or shower, I typically, listen to a lot of YouTube about spirituality and stuff, or I am interacting with the people that follow me on TikTok and trying to help them as well. So that's pretty much my routine for the day, man. People message in and like I need help and or they just want to have a conversation and need somebody to talk to, like I got you.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a morning, a day person, or a night, evening person?
Oh, I'm a morning person. I wake up just ready to go.
Always been this way?
Always been. I don't know what it is about morning time. I'll wake up at 5:30 morning. I'm this spicy like as soon as I wake up. So it's kind of nice, but then towards the end of the day I'm dragging a little bit.
What's your star sign astrology?
I am a Sagittarius.
Interest. December?
December 13th, yes.
Wow. You know that's they say that Sagittarius, they have the biggest heart compared with the other star sign on astrology. Did you know that?
I'm starting to realize that now through my healing journey. Yes, another cool thing is I have a 4-place stellium, which is all Sagittarius. So if you look up, a 4-placement Sagittarius stellium, they'll pretty much tell you the most Sagittarius person that's ever walked the face of the earth. So, wow. Yeah, I'm definitely learning who I am now that I'm away from the noise, and my life is peaceful now. I don't have a wife, to worry about all the time, and I just sit here and I can think and be by myself, and it's really great to just sit by myself for once in life.
Wow. Do you like to celebrate your birthdays, or for you it's just a regular day?
Do I celebrate birthdays?
Do you like celebrating your birthdays, or?
I pretty much just celebrate full moons and stuff like that. I mean, you were only born once. That's your only birthday. Like maybe like a happy soul day. I'll give somebody a happy soul day or something, but I don't really celebrate anything. I used to love Christmas, but who the hell didn't, presents, nobody wants clothes, but like I got some cool skateboards, whatever I wanted, and that's why everybody loves Christmas. That's how they bait you into it, but the more you learn, you're like, okay, like this is all just like a marketing scheme right here,
Cool. Ready for another question?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. You're a good dancer, I can see.
I try.
Before the next question, as you mentioned about your kids, your dads, how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Tell me 2 questions in one. The first part of the question is, what's the biggest joy of being a dad? And the second part of the question is, so far, what's the most memorable lesson you've learned from your kids?
So really, my biggest thing for just being a dad out of all of it is just being a good dad. Like I'm there for my kids every step of the way, even through my addictions. I always, I would always have my kids stay with their moms, and I would do my thing, and I just kept them away from that environment because I wasn't kept away from that environment growing up. So my biggest joy in being a dad is just being a dad that's actually there and emotionally available for his children and teach them how to live. Like I'm way better at raising girls than I am at boys. It's really super insane, but and then the biggest lesson I've been learning is just to be a freaking kid, stop worrying about life so darn much and get out there and get them toes in the sand or in the grass and maybe stomp in some mud puddles. Who knows? Whatever your little heart desires,
Wow. Let's see now. Your kids, they are watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
I would tell my children that I love you guys very much, and I'm proud of you, of the people that you are becoming and the people you will be, and there's nothing that'll stop you and hold you back but yourself. And I love you guys. Keep on going.
Wow, that was powerful. My God, I got goosebumps now. My goodness, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Hey, next question for you is, all right, sorry. What keeps you up at night?
Overthinking. Really, I don't have a problem falling asleep. Really, I don't have any. Really, at this point in time, it's really just my spiritual stuff. Where I'm going to be going, because I'm planning on this journey that I'm going to be taking across the country for a few months. I'm going to be leaving my kids, obviously at home with their mothers. which really, 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 really sucks. But, you know, I spent 6 years in prison away from my daughter. People go to rehab all the time and don't see their kids for 6 to 9 months. I'm just going in the woods, you know? So just where I'm going to be going, what I'm going to run into, and the challenges I'm going to face on my journey are kind of what keep me up at night, I guess, if there had to be an answer.
And for you to, to get, when you find yourself in those overthinking moments, yeah, that keep you up at night, what do you do for you to kind of relax and put away those thoughts?
If I can't control my thoughts myself, which I've been getting a lot better at that, you know, I recognize a feeling or a sensation and I can kind of, you know, view it from an outside perspective now. And I'm not really allowing my emotions to consume me as much as I used to. But when they really get the best of me, I'll just turn on some healing frequencies and, you know, just calm down, or I'll meditate, or I'll pray, whatever, you know.
Amazing. Very good. Next
Thank
question. Let's do it.
My neighbors are like, what is this guy doing? We're dancing, pop it down.
Before the next question, of course, is visible your tattoos and around your body. I can see some of them. Tell me, which one is the very first one you ever had? The second part of the question is, which one is the latest one? And the third part of the question is, which one is the most meaningful one?
Okay, so you can't see it, but it used to be a smiley face on my knuckle there. You might be able to see it a little bit. The two little dots right there and there. I think I did that when I was 14. And then I did that one shortly after.
Okay.
My last piece was probably my Odin.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the third part?
The most meaningful one.
Any of the ones I have that are involving Norse mythology, which is like all up my arm. This is the kindred that I belong to, the True Right kindred. I got my whole upper back covered in runes. It says it's in German, but it's spelled out in runes. Gehen Sie mit den Göttern, go with the gods. And then obviously Odin. I got Hail Odin tattooed on the side of my head in runes. I got Odin on the back of my neck in runes. Odin. Yep, those are the most meaningful ones for me.
Are you planning
and
for...
my daughters, obviously, and my nephews.
Oh, are you planning for the next one?
Not really. I mean, I really haven't quite had the funds to be able to even think about stuff like that. I mean, it has been in my forefront here lately because I actually met a tattoo artist out in from California through TikTok that's on the spiritual journey too. So I'm like, hey, I might be out there. You never know. Like, just throw some ink on me. So I'm just kind of... And then I have another friend. She's going to draw me up a design. I'm going to draw her a design. And then we're going to go meet one of these days and we're going to get our tattoos done together. So whatever people draw for me, you know, that's the next design. Whatever people intuitively feel I need to have tattooed on my body. So I trust them.
Amazing. Next question is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
The perfect friendship? Not being perfect at all.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to have issues. Everybody's going to have differentiating opinions and viewpoints and thought processes. And it's just finding somebody that's willing to take a little bit of crap with you, you know? Speaking of that girl I was telling you about drawing my tattoo, she just messaged me when I was talking about her. So, you know, that synchronicity is crazy.
For sure. My God, crazy. It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This whole spiritual journey thing is so amazing. Like, I've seen the coolest things ever. You know, it's great. And I completely forgot the question because sometimes my CPTSD and ADHD kind of butt heads and I forget what I'm talking about. So
no, you told about you know, the perfect friendship, and of course you received the message from her. It's amazing.
Yeah.
James, as I can see you now, I can feel your energy. I can see that, you know, you are very positive. You are full of energy. You see life in such a beautiful way right now. You're so excited about your future, about this spiritual journey. Do you feel like you are living your best life right now?
At this point in time in my journey, oh yeah, I'm living it the hell up right now. And things will only get better from here. And if they get worse, nothing's taking me down. So I'm still going to have this awesome, happy face on. I could be living in a cardboard box. And as long as I got, you know, Mother Gaia under my feet and spirit above me and air to breathe, I'm good. But
Beautiful.
I do have a feeling my journey is going to take a pretty crazy spin here in a few years. So,
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
oof. You know, and I'm not going to count the birth of my children. Well, the ones that actually wanted to give me a baby, which was 2 of them. One of them, it just happened. So I won't use my kids. The most beautiful thing for me to happen in my life. I actually got to give that to the people that I follow on TikTok, because I've never had unconditional love before, and none of my parents, it was always conditional. Like, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to be angry at you, and you're not going to get love. You're going to get grounded. You're going to get spanked. You're going to be punished because you didn't do something the way I like. So my friends and my soul tribe on TikTok, I love all of you, like every single one of you. You guys are my family. You know, this is what I got. So I'm grateful.
Oh, wow.
And just them being in my life, I'm blessed enough to finally have people that genuinely reciprocate what I have to offer.
Amazing, James. I was about to ask you about your TikTok page. So tell me a little bit about your podcast, your YouTube channel, your TikTok page. What's the message there? When people connect with you through your social media, what would you like them to take with them when they connect with you over there?
I kind of just want people to take spirituality and religion like it's definitely a serious matter, but some people just need to lighten up, you know. And you got people like, oh, well, I'm Christian, so if you're anything else, you know. And then you got other people and other religious groups that are like, well, if you're that, you know. And I don't want that, you know. I specifically made my channel for everybody to come in and laugh. I'm not doing everything spiritual. I do funny stuff in there. I actually just went viral 3 days ago for a middle finger video. Like, come on, man. I flipped off a camera and I'm up to 250,000 views in 3 days.
Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
great.
like what the hell?
Wow, that's crazy.
But same with the podcast. You know, the podcast is called the My Cup First podcast. I actually just recently shot my first episode with my buddy Ghost that I met off of TikTok, and he just messaged me about a minute and a half ago. That's the same message, you know. Like, if you want to come on and bring spirituality, if you want to come on and bring religion, you want to bring any type of theology, if you want to bring gardening, anything, nature, birds, if you have some weird craft you just like to get out to the world, some weird talent that nobody else really has, get the hell on here. Let's show the world what you got, and let's get you some business going, babe, you know.
Wow, I like that. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
All right.
Before the next question, James, you mentioned about your journey in prison. Eh? Are you okay to talk about it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm an open book. There's nothing that phases me. Let's go.
Okay, so before, of course, besides not get into too much detail, tell me, when you look back through that challenge journey for you, of course, was challenge being in prison. What was the positive outcome that you've learned there, that, you know, you are so grateful for that journey that you spend there, that nowadays you go like, okay, I'm grateful for that, for which reason you'd say, if you can share?
I mean, I'm extremely grateful for the entire journey, to be quite honest. And I'm grateful for it because it saved my life. You know, I was an out of control 19-year-old. Honestly, it was the worst moments in prison that I'm most grateful for, as crazy as it sounds. The violent parts, the scary parts, the silent parts. I did 3 years in segregation by myself, the last 3 years of my sentence. And
what that means, if you can share, what that means.
I was by myself for 24 hours a day for 3 years.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yep. Kind of happens, you know?
Okay.
It's one of those things. I actually became, and I used to be a racist. I'm probably sure you've heard of the group Blood and Honor. Being over in the UK, I used to be their number 3 here in the United States. And I gave all that up because, sorry for cussing on your podcast. That was just a really outdated part of my life that I kind of unfortunately took upon to take in while I was in prison. You know, it's kind of one of those get in where you fit in things. And I let it run its course way too long. I should have just
Hmm.
left that at the door at prison and been done with it, and I didn't because I just like to have friends and I never belonged anywhere. So, but I just recently, well, not recently, a few months back, told them, like I'm done. I've never been a saying the power word behind the white word. I've never been that person because I have mixed nieces and nephews. I break bread with everybody, man. It's all about respect. And
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of grateful for my presence in that organization because, dude, I really helped them people a lot. Kind of like step back from that, like hardcore hating people, throwing the bad signs, like the Germans did. So I kind of graced them with my presence for a little bit and got them a little bit chilled down, and everything's kind of moving slower now. Everybody's just doing their thing, man. People are leaving the group. They're finding their spiritual path now. And hey, let's do it. As many people as we can get away from that stuff as possible. That's my goal.
Wow. I'm glad you shared that, James, because as I can see now, you are more open-minded person. You are more approachable. You respect other tribes, other people for
Oh yeah.
whatever, for their race, for their, religion, sexuality. I think it's great for you to be able to understand that and to respect as well and send away your message as well for people who maybe is still not there yet.
Right. And then that's all anybody ever needs. The reason most of us make all the crazy decisions we make in our life is because we didn't have that growing up. Our
Yeah.
opinions never mattered. Everything we did was never good enough. Well, certain people, there are certain people that had a really great upbringing, and I'm so happy for them that they got to experience that because a lot of us didn't. So that kind of triggered me and I went all brain foggy. So,
Good for you that you are in a better place now, and I'm glad to hear that. This James is in a
yeah.
different place right now. It's great to see. It's great to see
And
for
it's
sure.
very scary because I've never known this part of me before. That's what some people don't realize about the spiritual journey is like you literally shed everything about you and become somebody you don't even know anymore. And most of the people on this spiritual path, especially a shaman's journey, is you go through some stuff. The
Yeah.
loss of children, direct family members, spouses, narcissistic abuse, drug abuse.
And I'm glad you said that because you never know who's watching this interview. Maybe someone, is facing a situation where they cannot find themselves and suddenly seeing someone like you that went through a really hard time, and now you are literally turned around. You're already there. You're already, in a
Oh, yeah.
different, and it's great to see. So people, they can, all of us are going to make mistakes, but what it's about, okay, understand, healing, and want to become a better person, a more open-minded and approachable as
Yeah.
well.
And if you don't have to be spiritual to heal. A lot of
Yeah.
people get this misconception of you have to be, well, I believe in God, so I can't do these chakra things and I can't play with crystals because the Bible says so. Well, we're not going to go there, but you don't have to be spiritual to heal like this. You just have to do the inner work. You got to go inside and you got to be like, why do I get triggered when people say this? Why do I react this way to things? Why do I think all these things? Because people, not all them voices in your head are yours. I promise you that. And once you break away from the noise and you get by yourself for a little bit, your mind calms down and then you can start reprocessing things and you can start, making that hybridization of your subconscious and unconscious mind, or subconscious and conscious mind. Sorry. You got to bring that stuff that's way back there and way up there and bring it right in the middle, right there, pierce that veil so you can see everything.
Amazing. Yeah, I think being spiritual is very personal. As you said, it doesn't need to be connected with religion, with universe. It's about you. It's about what you believe. That's what matters. That's about you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I just made a video about that this morning. On my TikTok, I said, I got people on here that are kind of pushing their ways and being kind of a little arrogant, with their beliefs. And I'm like, dude, we don't do that here. I don't care what you are. I don't care who you are, what you follow, what color. Like, we just don't play that here. If you're going to be rude to people, you can beat feet because I spent my life people being rude and I don't want people to feel that way anymore. So
Amazing. Next question for you is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
a miracle.
Yeah,
No more narcissism.
very good one. Wow, good one. And I'm sure you can. You know very well that you know what it's about, and you can, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, so I'm sure you know what you're talking about. Amazing, James, amazing. Last question, ready?
All righty, let's do it.
Let's do it, last one. Before the last question, you know, people watch this interview right now. Again, I'm gonna mention maybe they are in a dark place. You know, could be anything, something that they cannot control. Could be anything involved, maybe with addiction or maybe with, you know, something that they cannot control as you've been in the past. What would be your best piece of advice for those people right now?
give yourself give yourselves a lot of grace. There's a lot to go through, in whatever journey you are in your life. And sometimes people just need things to make it through and survive. I've been there myself. So I totally understand what you guys are going through. And things get a lot better when you can step away from all these chemicals and all these things you're using to run away from your problems. Because I went from being just where you are in your spot to being right here and having a YouTube channel and an awesome TikTok and all these beautiful things happening in my life. And you just got to want it enough. You have to want it enough to put that stuff down. And I have faith in you. I believe in you and I love you very much. And I wish you all the best on your journey. And you can find me on TikTok.
Amazing. Last question is, what makes you the happiest?
Huh. That's actually a really hard question to answer. Because most people would be like their children and these things that are all super close and blood related. But I'm one of them people that understands like blood isn't everything. There's beautiful things that happen outside your family. My children are a given. They're the miracle of my life. So I'm gonna say the same thing I did earlier, making people laugh. I've gotten the most joy out of anything in my life. That's all I want to do, man. Make
Amazing.
people laugh. I like to get them through the trauma. I like to get them through heartbreak and sorrow and grief just by cracking a dumb little joke. Get somebody to laugh and then they start crying and then they're like, oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, all right. Now I can see it from a different perspective. Thank you.
I think you are a very, let's say, a genuine comedian. For sure. That's what.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. It's just a one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Oh, God, I don't think you want this.
One word for family.
Family, love,
Money.
greed,
Fear.
establishment, because they like to pump it down our throats.
Life.
Manipulation.
Love.
Sorrow, believe it or not, that's the first word that popped up. That's crazy.
Okay. Religion.
Spirituality.
One word for sex.
Magic.
Okay. Politics.
No thanks.
Friendship.
Love.
Desire.
Lust.
Regret.
Pain.
Success.
Never really had to deal with that one. I honestly can't think of one for that.
Okay.
Nothing even really cropped up.
Wish.
Nothing cropped up for that one either. I told you,
Okay.
my brain's a little bit different than most,
I love it. I love it.
Because when you say wish, I do want to say fulfillment, which is, a spiritual term or anything, So when you said wish, I wanted to say fulfillment, but most people won't get that. And I guess I should have said it anyways, but.
You already said anyway.
Yeah, it's down now. It's on paper and recorded.
Not right or wrong. It's just what comes to your mind. One word for happiness.
Sadness.
Okay. One word for Michigan.
Ooh, Yooper. Yooper. That's what we call people from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Yoopers.
You just made my day
They
now.
sound Canadian.
I learned something new.
There you go.
One word for USA.
Fallen.
Okay. And the last one now, if you could define all your TikTok page in one word, what that would be?
Fun.
Okay. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your three kids together, and I'm
Okay.
gonna ask them, define your dads in one positive word and one negative word only. What they would say?
Waylon would definitely say, I mean, they would all say fun or funny. That's for sure. So you said one positive and one negative.
Yeah.
My attitude, I can be a little bit bitter once in a while. So
Ooh.
yeah, I didn't used to be this nice, calm person. I used to be hell on wheels, and I would throw things, punch anything I could find, like walls, and like I didn't like hurting people when I grew up. So like my dad would get mad because I'd punch his refrigerator or bust holes in cabinets. So yeah, I wasn't this nice, calm person my whole life. It's taken a lot of work and a lot of pops, and I'm
I'm
still
so
growing and learning every day.
I'm so glad I met you in this time of your life.
Seriously, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to meet you as well. This is awesome.
I'm just, it's funny you saying that, because you literally, you know, you are so embracing so much your real self right now that I'm gonna be honest with you, I cannot picture yourself like violent, or you know what I mean, like mean or anything. It's so interesting because I think, you know, if you know what I mean, you know, I think you are
Oh, I
so
know.
into with your new journey now. You want to, you are enjoying your new life, you know, this
Yeah.
journey now, that it's, for me, it's tricky to see you. I try to picture yourself being, you know, a bit rough, anything, but I cannot picture. So you are doing very well, James. You are going very good
Well, thank
direction.
you. I
Amazing.
appreciate that. Everybody says that, you know, like my grandma in prison. I was talking to her on the phone one day. She's like, "You used to be such a happy boy. What happened to you?" And I'm like, "Thanks, grandma. Life happened, grandma. Life happened. That's what happened. We didn't grow up in the 1920s with Model A's and Model T's, you know, and we grew up with with a radio and freaking TV and CD players, cassette tapes, 8 tracks, whatever, you know. A lot more crap out there in the world than you guys had to deal with."
Let's play now, James, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. Okay, but before you ask me the question, if people would like to, you know, to buy this new the thing that you are doing right now, what's the best way to people to contact you to get that from you?
On my TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I also have Telegram, but I don't remember the handle of that off the top of my head. But my TikTok is Odin James 1313, and just inbox me, follow me, whatever. And I'm actually doing raffles as well. So like every week, people pay $2 a ticket. They'll send it to my Venmo, and
Amazing.
I'll wrap a crystal, and then I'll ship it to them when they win. So I do the live. I do a TikTok live to announce the winner. This week will be the first time actually I've ever done it, so I'm super stoked and excited about it.
Amazing. Oh my God. Actually, you said again the name of your TikTok page. Why 1313?
I was born on the 13th. 13 has been a very big number in my life. It's also the life and rebirth, or death and rebirth number.
Okay.
It holds a very big spiritual significance. Like I got sentenced to 13 years in prison. My Quran, when I was Muslim, started on page 13. The tower outside of one of my windows in prison from one of my cells was tower number 13. I got out of prison February 13th of 2013. My shoe size is 13. It just keeps going. It just keeps going.
I'll tell you something now, James. I'll tell you something now. When I was 19 years old, before I left Brazil to come to Europe, yeah,
So cool.
I went to astrologer, yeah, and this astrologer told me, William, the number 3 is your lucky number. Everything connects with 3, like 13, 20, 23, or 33. Guess what? I could tell you so many stories, like events in my life, that I came to Europe on the 13th of March.
That's so awesome.
To Portugal. So I came to London on 13 as well. I start this job I'm working right now, I start on the 3rd. Yeah. So there's always, I could tell you so many stories. When I saw in your profile 1313, I said, I need to ask him that. It's crazy how numerology like follows. It's amazing. Great.
Numbers really matter, you know, and and if I could tell people that aren't spiritual, but they keep seeing numbers like 222, 555, 1111, if you keep just seeing repeating numbers out of nowhere on your phone, radio stations, car advertisements, whatever, like you should probably go to Google and just be like, hey, what's this angel number, and see where it pulls up in your life. And because I will give it to angel numbers, they saved my life the last 3 years. I literally lived my life by the numbers I was seeing that were given to me by my spirit guides and spirit. I managed to break free from drug addiction. I woke up just one morning last December and I'm like, well, God was like, well, you're not using anymore. And I'm like, okay. So I was really trying to, I got used to slowing down and being able to process my thoughts because I'm extremely ADHD, obviously. And, but I was able to quit that too. Like I only did it for a couple months. So yeah, but I'm sober now and everything's going great. And we're all gonna mess up, dude. There might come a time where I might mess up, dude. Who knows? There might be such a traumatic time in my life where I might just be like, you know what, dude, before I do something stupid to someone or myself, dude, I am gonna go handle this business real quick, go by myself, you know, and just stay away from people for a while. You know? But
And
I hope it doesn't get there. You know, I hope I don't have to resort to that. I'm really trying not to, but I'm just saying, you never know with the future.
And you know what? Back to the numbers. Today's 31st of October. Can you see 31st day? So you see
It
again,
is.
3. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we meant to have this interview today, James. We meant to have for one
Yes.
reason. We meant to have. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
All right. So I did write down, what's the memory you have that takes you to that place of complete freedom and safety?
My God, wow! I had over 1,000 interviews on the show so far, and nobody asked me this question this way before. I love it. Wow!
I like to get deep. You know, I like to get to know people. And
You
there's
did
no better way to get to know them but their childhood, baby. So let's see it.
okay. You did very well, and I could tell you so many memories. But the first one that came to my mind right now, it was my very first day at school. And
That's awesome.
I was 5 years old. I'll tell you why. Growing up, I had 2 cousins. They were older than me, 3 years older. And 1 year before I started going to school and I was allowed to go to school, I was crying because I wanted to go so badly. And my grandmother, she asked the teacher if I could attend the first day of my cousin. She was older than me because I was crying. I just wanted to go to school, but I couldn't because I was underage. And so I went. And 1 year after, you know, of course, I was waiting so much for that day. And I tell you, James, I remember the details. I have my memories, holding hands with my colleagues going to class. I remember my very first teacher. I have goosebumps now. I remember everything about my first day at school because for me, it was a very special day. I always wanted for some reason. And the very first day going to school, it was like a day that I'm never going to forget and always would bring good memories in my life because of that. I don't know why, but I was happy when I was at school. And my first day, it was memorable, and I'm never going to forget. So yeah, back to your question. That's a day that's when I think about my childhood memories, it brings a smile and comfort my heart, for sure.
That is so awesome. Like, and I've never heard anybody say it was school, you know, which I love school too, but it was kind of my escape from home, you know, like some people use school as an escape, you know, and I'm so glad that you got to like embrace school for what it was and, you know,
Absolutely.
really and thoroughly enjoy it for what it is, you know. So that's
Amazing.
cool, man. I thank you for sharing that with all of us. Thank you.
James, thanks so much for the interview. You have no idea how much I appreciate your time. You know, you're being so open. And again, I'm going to tell you something. It's a part of healing and also about helping people. So thanks so much for being so open and sharing your life, your memories. And I think people watching this interview right now, they appreciate because they can see that you are living your best life right now. So carry on and good luck on your journey.
Thank
And
you. I appreciate you.
it's glad to see someone, you know, living their life to the fullest, and you are an example of that. You have a rough time growing up, you know, you had, my God, you went through so much, and I can see a man right now just happy of living life and, you know, enjoy your best life. So thanks so much for that, and it's very inspiring. I'll tell you, it's very inspiring for sure. So thanks for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Like, and I really thank you for allowing me to do this. You know, I didn't wake up today thinking somebody's gonna be like, hey, do you want to come on my podcast or my YouTube? And I'm like, Yeah, well, why not?
See?
You know, I just had somebody come onto mine out of nowhere, so like let's do it already, you know?
We just made memories, for
A,
sure.
a lot of memories and gonna help a lot of people. So that matters
For,
too, you know, it's gonna be
for sure.
great. So
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
so I did happen to write down one of Odin's favorite quotes. There is no magic when no one no longer believes, or when one no longer believes. So start
Oh,
believing in that magic because we're all magic and there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We are all majestic unicorns, and it's time to tap into it and let your creative juices flow and be your beautiful little authentic selves.
amen. Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks so much and keep in touch. It was a pleasure connecting with you.
I
Okay,
will.
reach out
Thank
to your
you.
family, to your kids, and all your friends. Okay,
All
take
right.
care.
See you later, man.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.